As we discuss the value of giving, let's not forget that your efforts to succeed in life remain your most important contribution. Contributing to society doesn't mean that you'll earn less or make undue sacrifices. A rich spiritual life doesn't preclude personal gain or the accumulation of assets. Rather, the wealthy person has the opportunity to lead an even more productive, service-oriented life by using his wealth in ways that reflect his values and goals. I remember once hearing someone criticize a very wealthy businessman for his allegedly insufficient charitable giving. I couldn't help but smile a bit at this criticism. Here was a man who had built businesses throughout the world that employed literally hundreds of thousands of people. Some of these businesses had even been voted the best companies to work for. Not only did these companies employ all of those people, but they also provided valuable products and services across nations. This businessman was using his energy and skills to create abundance that benefited millions. Think about it. If he were to sell his assets and give the money away, his contribution to the world would likely be much less. If without his guidance, the businesses then failed, how many people would lose their jobs? What products or services might be discontinued? Of course, it's true that there are some business people whose primary concern is to make big profits, regardless of how their actions impact society. And yet there are many more who create real wealth through increasing productivity, whose business endeavors lead to large gains in per capita incomes, who are contributing in a mighty way to overall economic well-being. This is equally true of the CEO of a Fortune 500 corporation, the owner of a small family-owned business, or an employee who gives his all to his job. And we all can do far more for the world from a position of financial strength than financial weakness. So the degree of your contribution will be proportionate to the degree of your success. Likewise, the impact of your contribution will be determined by the wisdom of your choices, how and where you put your money. Andrew Carnegie, who knew a thing or two about philanthropy, learned a surprising truth in the course of his charitable endeavors. It's more difficult, he acknowledged, to give money away intelligently than it is to earn it in the first place. It seems to me that one way of giving your money away intelligently is to leverage your charitable efforts. It's one thing, for example, to give money to organizations that cover the cost of an indigent person's medical care or drug treatment, or to give a homeless person on the street some extra cash. Few could argue with the merits of this sort of generosity, which could have profound effects in these individuals' lives. On a grander scale, however, giving money to train more medical professionals to work in poor or underserved communities is a contribution that's leveraged, that will only grow in power over time. Its impact will be felt again and again in each person served by the professional whose education you helped fund. So one way to consider sharing your riches is to choose those options where the value of your contribution will be compounded. It is, as Benjamin Disraeli said, the greatest good you can do for another is not just to share your riches, but to reveal to him his own. Of course, there's no wrong way to share. There's no one model of giving, no one standard for distributing your assets in the most effective and meaningful manner. But it's worth thinking about how to maximize your contributions, at least for those of us who are not operating with unlimited funds. Warren Buffett, for example, plans to leave most of his fortune to charity after he's gone. In his case, such a strategy makes sense. After all, while he's alive, he has the singular ability to make his money produce more money. So the money he keeps and invests now will have become that much more substantial when he gives it away at his death. Andrew Carnegie, on the other hand, whose turn-of-the-century fortune in steel made him one of the richest men of his era, gave away more than $350 million during the first 10 years of his retirement. Carnegie set up a foundation in his own name through an initial endowment of $125 million. Among his many contributions, Carnegie was benefactor to the establishment of 2,811 public libraries, not to mention Carnegie Hall in New York and the Carnegie Institution in Washington. As in all things, how we give is about balance. If everyone gave in the same way by, for example, donating all of the money they have to give today, they would have nothing to give in the future. But of course, if nobody gave anything now, the future would be rather bleak, wouldn't it? So giving now or giving after you're gone are both valid ways to give back to society. Naturally, it remains up to you to decide how to spend your money. Your contribution may be most meaningful spent on your children's education or helping your parents to live more comfortably in retirement. Or it may entail putting money into socially responsible investments, firms that you believe are making a positive contribution to the world. It may go toward nonprofit charities, a local recreation center for young people, or a church fundraising effort. There truly is no shortage of ways to contribute. Remember, too, money is not the only valuable asset you have to share. What about volunteering your time and talents or other resources to help others learn to help themselves? However you contribute, remember that money is a tool that enables you to broaden your experience in life, that gives you the opportunity to look beyond yourself and touch the lives of others. And using your wealth as a natural extension of who you are gives you the means to manifest your ideas and mission in life. I like the slogan of Big Brothers of America. You've always said that someday you'd give something back. Welcome to Someday. There's no better time than the present to make real your values and vision.